everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining me. I'm Myles Dyer, and this is Myles Dyer Live, where every week we talk about all sorts, from the fun to the serious. Very, very serious sometimes. I can't believe it's been a week since my last live stream, and I guess I should start off by saying a massive, massive thank you to everyone who either tuned in last week, watched on replay, reached out to me. The amount of messages I've received, and even from like people I've not spoken to, some in like over 10 years, have reached out, and the love and support I've received from people has been remarkable, and I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful. For those that didn't tune in last week, episode 150 is one I recommend going back to. I told a very personal story, and it was a very emotional live stream. Very different in the sense that although I sort of spoke with the chat towards the end, I was just laying out my experiences. And I have to admit, since then, I've felt pretty weird. I still feel weird now. A lot of people are saying it's normal to feel exhausted when you let go of something that you've been holding on for so many years. And obviously at a time when I've recently joined a new company, working in the VR space with a lot of VR content creators, many of whom are live streaming right now because the Upload VR showcase, or it's at least coming to an end. They're very tapped into everything, and I just instantly know that they're my kind of people. They're my people because they've been very supportive. And I'm just taking it each day at a time. I still sort of have headaches and stuff, but also I'm working ridiculously hard at the moment. I'm taking a vacation tomorrow. I'm not going to really go into details just because I'll talk about it once I get back from the vacation. But it's only going to be a very, very short one, just an extended weekend. But I very much need it. However, it has meant to get everything in place. The last 2 days I've been working 18 hours a day, and although it's 9:05 in the evening here, once this live stream is done, I'm going to have my dinner. I'm just using all... You know what it's like when you're about to go on vacation, even if it's for a short one. It's looking in the fridge, looking at the ingredients, what can I make the most of? And I've got an avocado, and I've got some butter left, and some lemon juice. So... And I got some bread rolls that were on discount earlier. So Tiger bread, that's it. So gonna have the toasted bread rolls, and then I'm gonna have butter, avocado on it, and then you put some salt and pepper on it with lemon juice. Super, super tasty. I love avocado on toast, or toasted bread rolls in this case. So yeah, and then I should probably think about packing, but I've got a lot of work stuff to hand over. Some of the clients that we work with are launching games today and tomorrow, so we got all that. Tiger bread is next level, Clem says. Absolutely. Yeah, here we go. Lots of love for tiger bread. But what is tiger bread? What is tiger bread, people? Is it just bread that looks like a tiger? Let's have a look. I'll bring it up on screen. But yeah, I just want to say again, a massive thank you to everyone last week. The love that has come my way has been incredibly moving. And I'm still processing it. So, here we go. Tiger bread. Here we go. So let's have a look here. I guess we just do Wikipedia. So it's Dutch. It's also known as Dutch Crunch. Did you know that? Dutch Crunch? Tiger bread is people. It's made of people. Thank you, Clem. It's bread of Dutch origin that has a mottled crust. I've never heard that word, mottle. Mottle is a pattern of irregular marks, spots, streaks, blotches, and patches of different shades of colour. Mottle. Did you know that? I've learned something today. I never knew. Word of the day, mottle. Mottle. Maybe it's just me. I didn't know of that word, mottle. Did you know of mottle? Did any of you know about mottle? Let's have a look here. Crust. The bread is generally made with a pattern baked on the top, made by painting rice paste onto the surface prior to baking. Didn't know that either. The rice paste that imparts the bread characteristic flavour dries and cracks during the baking process. The bread itself has a crusty exterior but is soft inside. Typically, tiger bread is made as white bread bloomer loaf or bread roll, but the technique can be applied to any shape of bread. There we go. It's called supermarket chain Wegmans sells it as Marco Polo bread. San Francisco Bay Area, it's called Dutch Crunch. And in 2012, the UK supermarket chain Sainsbury's announced that it would market the product under the name Giraffe Bread after a 3-year-old girl wrote to the company to suggest it, and the letter and reply gained traction on her mother's social media account. There we go. Interesting. So there we go. I learned something today. To be honest, today, because it's the last Wednesday of the month, it's free for all Q&A. I didn't expect it to go in this direction. Just thought about what I'm going to have for dinner after this show, and I've learnt some stuff here. So there we go. Mottled patterns. Yes, you knew. Okay, I never knew of it. I don't know if I'm ever going to remember the word to use it in a sentence, but I'm going to force it in somewhere. So I'm just going to look at something and go, oh, that looks mottled. I like that mottled design. So there we go. JPEG Q says, Dutch Crunch is good. Didn't know it was also called Tiger Bread. Okay. Some sandwich shops offer it as an option, such as Mr. Pickle Sandwich Shop here in California. By the way, thank you very, very much for the super chat. For the $2, saying, saw your post about activism and Julian Assange. I will definitely talk about that in a moment. But just to let everyone know, because it is the last Wednesday of the month, if you do have a question for me, you can put it here. Just put a Q at the beginning of your question, and then I can save it in my favourites, and then I can get to it later. So if we're talking about other topics, if you're asking questions, I can save it and I can go through it. So you can ask me anything. You can even ask me about stuff I spoke about last week. I am happy to talk about it. Happy maybe not being the right word, but I'm completely content with talking about it. But again, just thank you, everyone. Lovely people. What was mentioned there about Julian Assange? So this week it was in the news, I think from 2 days ago. Julian Assange, who was the founder of WikiLeaks, and what have we got here? Thank you very, very much, Hannah. Oh, it was weird, it wasn't playing it. There we go. Thank you, Hannah, for becoming a member. Really, really appreciate it. Kira says the shower is mottled with mildew. There we go. Just the other day, Julian Assange, he's an Australian editor, WikiLeaks founder. He had been imprisoned for many, many years, 5 years in a high security prison in the UK, Belmarsh prison. And he's now back. And I actually did see a video earlier today of him reuniting with his wife, which was amazing. And it's great to see here. There he is, touchdown. Incredible. And obviously, people have different opinions on Julian Assange. He's also a complicated character. There were some pretty serious allegations made against him. But in my mind, regardless of if they were true or not, it was definitely being politicised as a way for them to extradite into the US. But actually here, this lawyer here, Jennifer Robinson, I've met a couple of times when I was in my activist days, and I was actually trying to get her on my show, Quest for Empathy, to know what it's like working in such high-profile cases. But obviously, she's been very, very busy. I'm definitely going to reach back out because it would be great to hear. Now it's a closing of such a chapter. I'm just saving these questions as it goes in. Hannah says, technically I was a member before, but my payment lapsed. Well, it's good to have you back again. Thank you. On the Julian Assange thing, the reason I mentioned it was because I actually met Julian Assange. I don't know if many of you remember, but he hid away in the Ecuadorian embassy seeking asylum in the UK. I think he was in there for 7 years. And while he was there, I was working for a broadcast company that was a YouTube network, and we were helping Oxford Union, which is a British university. A lot of them have their own like YouTube channels, and they do live streams with debates and that. And they were having Julian Assange give a talk. I think he was given an award, but he gave a speech about whistleblowing. Popsicle says he will never be free. There will always be government officials keeping an eye on him. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. And so, yeah, I dug up some photos because we were going to be filming from the Ecuadorian embassy, helping broadcast him speaking at the Oxford Union. It wasn't actually a part of the work that I did. I was helping manage the channels and stuff. But I took the day off work just so I could then work at the Ecuadorian embassy. And so I went with the team and headed down there. And I did have photos. Where are they? I can't see them here. I might have to get them off my phone again. Let me have a look. So I downloaded them off my phone yesterday. Here we go. Let me bring this onto my phone here. And this is one of those stories of like, wow, Myles, you've done some really random stuff in your life. So this was a photo I took in the embassy. It was so small, like this embassy. I'll go over here. The embassy was so small. And we had that green screen set up like that. We were just making sure he could hear. And I don't know if we're going to be able to see what the badge says. I think it says something truth on it. I think it says vote truth. That's what it is. It's a badge that says vote truth on it. And so, yeah, when I went there, it was interesting because I was a proper activist at the time. And it was that whole thing of wanting to be professional. I was in the Ecuadorian embassy. I also didn't know the... Alex says, come to the States, bro. Dude, I definitely want to come back to the States and hang out soon. Good to have you here, Alex. Let me have a look, actually. Julian Assange, when did he go to the Ecuadorian embassy? Because this was in 2013. So he entered in 2012, but he was there until 2018. So he'd been in there for a year. Now, at that point, seeing the rooms that I did see, it was mind-blowing how small it was. It was not a big place at all. And like this small room had like a massive table in it. And I think obviously there are some places where people can like sleep, but it's for like short stays. This guy was there for 7 years. He was there until 2018 when he then got wrestled out. Because the Ecuadorian embassy, basically, I think they did a deal and they said they weren't going to be protecting him anymore because it's all about diplomatic immunity. So yeah, so he was there. I was trying to be professional. I didn't want to like bother him. But we had like a chat here and there. So I was helping making sure things were set up. And then before he sat down, we were setting up the green screen. And I don't know if many of you remember, but there was a video that he famously released through WikiLeaks called Collateral Murder, which is a great name for a... It's a great name for a video. And so to show you here, it was from July 12th, 2007. And it was a series of air-to-ground attacks were conducted by a team of 2 US AH-64 Apache helicopters. The video, which WikiLeaks titled Collateral Murder, showed the crew firing on a group of people and killing several of them, including 2 Reuters journalists, and then laughing at some of the casualties, all of whom were civilians. An anonymous US military official confirmed the authenticity of the footage, which provoked global discussion. The video is amazing because, like, as they were watching it, is this the full video? Yeah, this is the full video. This is like incredibly, like, here it is. They were circling it, and they kept on saying, like, "Can we take the shot?" And I think they had cameras on them, and they were like, "Pick up the camera." So they basically shoot them, and then look, you can see them like crawling for their lives. And while one of them was trying to grab the camera, they were like, take the shot. as in like he's going for a weapon. So they were looking for justification. But then what was tragic was there he is trying to get, like, he's bleeding out, and then they open fire. Is then first responders turn up in a car, and I can't remember exactly if there were kids in there, but like they were trying to put the bodies in the truck, and then they just like say, look, they're trying to load them in, and then they just open fire on it and kill them all these civilians. And it was really, really interesting. It was really, really groundbreaking, and it definitely, like, WikiLeaks had just pissed off the most powerful government in the world, the US government, and you know, there was questions of like, is what they're doing journalism? Is this protected under the First Amendment? And WikiLeaks have said we've always been publishers, and this has been the big debate about whistleblowers. If you can arrest Julian Assange for reporting on it, because he didn't leak it, he was given a source, which I believe was Chelsea Manning. But the reason I bring it up was me on camera with my long hair with the collateral murder video behind me. We were just testing it. Now, the reason I'm smiling in it, which feels like in some ways it feels a bit messed up considering what the context is, but it's also very symbolic, because the reason I'm smiling in this moment is because I had an Instagram post at the time, was while I was there, Julian Assange said something along the lines of, I don't think my hair's going to be as good as his. It was like, how does that look on camera? And he's like looking at the camera, seeing me on screen, and he's like, yeah, I don't think my hair's going to be as good as his. Because back then my hair was a fucking mess all the time. And it made me laugh because there was a guy here who is like hiding away from the American government, who, by the way, they were putting in cameras in the vents and that and spying on him. And there were talks to like assassinate him and that. It's fucking crazy if you read the story. And so that's why I was laughing. And so I find it kind of like very symbolic of like when you've got something so dark and drastic going on, there is some lightheartedness. And so, yeah, I didn't know Julian Assange personally. It was the first time we'd met. I didn't know what his psychological state was after being there for so long. But when I spoke to him afterwards, I met him basically when we all wrapped up, he went in the corridor and he was clearly going to walk back. And I thought, this is my chance. And I walked up to him and I said, hey, Julian. And there was basically three things I remember from the exchange. First was, actually, I didn't mention this first because it would have been an odd thing to mention. I talked about my activism, which included the Universal Solutions Project. I don't know if any one of you have been following me since like 2012, but this was a project I started, an activist project back in like 2011, 2012, and it was called the Universal Solutions Project. And I'd done some videos on my channel about it. I could do a whole video on this topic. Back then, so this was what my idea was. When it comes to activism and charity, you get stopped by someone on the street and they might be like raising money for cancer, a cancer charity, which is great. But you're busy doing your day-to-day stuff. You might have other charities you already donate to. Maybe cancer's a triggering thing you don't want to talk about. Or maybe it is and you want to donate. The idea of the Universal Solutions Project, some people remember it in the chat. This is good. The Universal Solutions Project, the idea was to have a Wikipedia-style page where it is written, where you have a page for, let's say, I don't know, it's like pollution. I mean, I'm giving a very broad thing, but the idea is that you list a problem and then you have a one-pager. And the problem in society is that far too often, when it comes to laws and that, it's patchwork. When you see a speed limit on a freeway, that's basically them saying we haven't solved the problem, because the problem is actually to make sure that cars can't go higher than that speed. But instead, they do patchwork. They put speed limits, they have fines if you speed, but it's not stopping people from speeding. Like, it's not dealing with the root cause of why people speed and why it happens. And so the idea was that each of these Wikipedia pages would start with what the problem is, what the root cause is, and then it would link to solutions that are being worked on through the scientific method, through organizations and things like that. And the idea was that you would then be able to have an app on your iPad or something, and then activists going on the street, instead of going, hey, we want to talk to you about cancer, I could instead go up to you and say, hey, what matters to you? Because when you ask people that question, and when I did it in the early 2010s, people's eyes light up because they're like starting to reflect instead of being like, oh, I'm dealing with this person that's going to tell me all this stuff about like this cancer charity or dog charity or, you know, whatever it is. It's like, what does matter to me? And then you hear about what their biggest problems are. And what you find in society is, regardless of like political slants, the root cause to people's problems are often driven by the same things. It's scarcity, it's inequality, it's things like this. And so the Universal Solutions Project was a way of starting a conversation and getting people to step away from like the media, like what's it called? Like, is it horse race politics? It's always like, who was the best in the debate or who's going to win? It's always that. It's not about like what are the issues that are being talked about. And so this was actually organised by volunteers that I'd connected with through the Zeitgeist movement, a conversation for another time. I don't know if anyone watched the Zeitgeist movies. And Blitz Beast, thank you very much. Remind me before the show ends and I'll definitely bring it up. Excellent. So anyway, this is what the Universal Solutions Project was. So it was something I was working on in my free time. It never took off, but the philosophy of it, I think, really speaks to the way that you should conduct yourself whenever you're doing activism. Why did I bring this up? So I was telling Julian Assange in this brief moment, I was saying, dude, I'm an activist. I have a huge focus on civil liberties and a resource-based economy, which is something the Zeitgeist movement advocates. And you've been a huge inspiration to me. And he was asking, like, what do I work on? And I said the Universal Solutions Project. And he's like, oh, I think I've heard of it. Now, I don't think he had heard of it. And I don't think he was saying it just to be polite. You deal with all these names. But if he had heard of it, then what a fucking compliment. Because Julian Assange had plenty to be thinking about during this time. Also, USP is a delivery service in the US, right? So there is that. And then the second thing I asked him about, I said, could I get a photo with you? And he said, no, sorry to say that. I don't get photos with people that I don't really know because it could be used against me. I've had photos with people before that have then had questionable... It's like the guilty by association thing. Totally respected it. And for me, I felt a bit awkward asking for a photo with Julian Assange in the Ecuadorian embassy, but I really respected him, wanted to do it and say no. The third and final thing I said to him was, I was like, dude, before I go, I just want to say, I can't even begin to imagine what it's like being in here. But I'm sure that within these walls and knowing everything that's been perpetuated in the media that was vilifying him, it must be very, very frustrating to deal with. But I want you to know that outside these walls, there are so many people out there that love you for what you did. And he welled up in that moment. And it was when that happened and he started welling up. Firstly, I was like, oh shit, don't make him cry. But also, like, I could see it meant a lot to him. And it was surreal. And so, yeah, that was in the Ecuadorian embassy in 2013 when I met Julian Assange. And yeah, it's interesting to see that he's become free. And as people said in the chat, he's never going to be completely free. But Julian Assange is a complicated character. There was an interesting documentary by Laura Poitras about him, but I don't know. Life's complicated. You hear a lot of stuff, and at the end of the day, something else I would say, whether it's Elon Musk, Julian Assange, I don't know, anyone of huge political power, they can come across as dicks, or they have like questionable characteristics. And what I feel is the case is, if you are going to lead such a large company that has so much incoming fire and is taking on the status quo, you need to have some kind of self-belief that is beyond anything else. And therefore, I think the counter to that is you're going to be good in some ways and be able to do a lot of great stuff. But then I think there are toxic traits that can come with that. I'm talking very generally here. And it's not to excuse toxic behavior or anything like that. But I'm just like, I think when you're like, if you're Julian Assange and you're pissing off the world's most powerful government, you got to be a bit of a dick. Like, otherwise you'd just be like trembling and you wouldn't know. And the other thing about it is, and by the way, all the questions that have been asked to me, I will go through in a moment. And do hit the like button if you haven't already. Thank you very, very much, people. This actually inspired a song from my band called Courage is Contagious, which was actually about Edward Snowden. And Edward Snowden came out with about the NSA in 2013. Wow, that was in 2013. Shit, of course. Because when I met Julian Assange, I think it was not long after Snowden, or it was just before. But yeah, and that was what it was about. And so, yeah, my band had a song called Courage is Contagious. I could just play it now. I was going to play it on the screen here with captions, but, well, let's have a look. If it's good quality, I'll play it on this, because then I can have the captions. Let's have a look here. Tell me if this works and it's good quality. Can you hear that all right? And this has footage of Julian Assange in it, and I remember going around asking for permission. Some of the people in it, you've got... actually, I think in here I've got some of the references. So yeah, I've got Julian Assange at Occupy London. We've got some stop surveillance things. We've got Daniel Ellsberg. Aaron Swartz was, I think, one of the founders of Reddit. And he died after the US government was like going to prosecute him for leaking like educational documents and papers from MIT. And so a lot of people say the American government killed him. And so there's a line in this song that's "You kill the messenger, not the truth," and it has Aaron Swartz on camera. And I actually asked someone close to him if they were all right with us using it in the video, just because it was quite personal. Here, Jennifer Robinson. Oh, you can't see it here over here. Jennifer Robinson, you can see on the right, doing a Courage is Contagious TED Talk, which I believe was after this. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I'll keep going with it. It's one of our more rocky songs. Collateral murder video. See, this is what's interesting, right? So, Sitcom Soldiers were the guys that did the video, and we were filming in a car garage. If you actually look on the shelves, you can see like tires and stuff and car parts. But it was cool they were able to do that stuff through the floor and that. It was a great location. But then afterwards, I researched all the footage. And what was interesting was I got permission for as much of it as I could. Collateral murder. So using this was top secret, like highly classified US stuff. And it was out in public. And a part of me was like, do we use this in the video? Like, can we get screwed by the US government for using it? it was a bit of an interesting one. But yeah, so there's the collateral murder video, and I think you're going to see Julian Assange on this verse. I'm glad. I remember doing the captions for this song because obviously it couldn't even sense my screaming and know what the fuck I was talking about. That was Chelsea Manning. So Chelsea Manning was the private that leaked the WikiLeaks collateral murder video. Julian Assange, there we go. Daniel Ellsberg. Didn't Daniel Ellsberg die recently? Yeah, he died. Yeah, he died 10 days ago. Man, he would have loved to have seen Julian Assange get released. So Daniel Ellsberg was the American political activist that leaked the Pentagon Papers, Deep Throat, with Richard Nixon. And he, although he did get punished, I think. Or no, I don't know if he did get punished in the end. But he always talks about how whistleblowers have it so much worse. Hey, Looper. Hey, everyone. Sorry, last year. It was 2023, wasn't it? It said, yeah.
We found you out. We found you out. We'll take you on. Knowing who you are and what you've done, we are awake. I'm willing to pay for your mistake. We won't stand down. Rush from will sink you and you will drown.
I get fucking chills every time I see that. Even though I wrote the lyrics, but like seeing it in that context with Aaron Schwartz there. He was called like the Internet Boy, I think. The Internet's Boy. He died so young. Fuckers. Absolute fuckers. I miss being in a band. Really cool song. It was a song though that never. I mean, it was fine playing live, but like live, it just because of the way it was, it just didn't seem. It didn't feel like it. It was quite a slow, laid back track, whereas a lot of our other songs are a lot more upbeat and stuff. By the way, I love the artwork with the sort of the silencing of through technology. I love that this is the train of thought we go on with this sort of stuff. We're going from like one story to the next, right? But I'm just saving questions that are coming in. But yeah, courage is contagious indeed. Okay, so another story that's come to mind. So at the very end of this song, there are 3 notes that I sing. I can't sing. I mean, people say, of course you can sing. I struggle. Thank you, Callie. It was called The Internet's Own Boy 2014. I was in the studio and Jason, our producer, was saying, Myles, we could get you to sing a harmony with Luke. And Luke's voice is just, oh man, his voice is so good. And I miss singing, miss singing along with him. I miss screaming along with him. And as someone who was a lyricist, it was such a joy and a privilege to be in a band where I could write lyrics. I could do the aggressive bits that I wanted, and then I could have him just like belt out these anthems for these like really cool messages. And like, oh man, Luke was just, I say was a phenomenal vocalist. I mean, he can still sing now, but I meant just like within the band. But anyway, we were in the studio and Jason was saying, oh, Myles, we should get you to sing. And he's like, sing these 3 notes. See, oh man, see, now I'm going back in my history, like traumatic memories. I remember, I'm going to get to the actual topic we're talking about, but I remember being at primary school, or elementary school as it's called in the States. And when you it was high school. First year at the school I went to, it was compulsory. You had to try out for the school choir. So you went into a room one at a time. You had like head of music at the desk and then another music teacher at a piano. And they played God Save the Queen, our national anthem. And you had to la along with it. And I've never been able to sing. And so I didn't want to be in the choir. But when I went in there, I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. And I tried la-ing, and they stopped the song, and then they played individual notes. And they go, can you do this la 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 la? And I was like, la la la, like just not doing it. Like, and I was trying, and it was amazing. For something I didn't want to do, I went away feeling quite demoralised. And I'll never forget when it came to choosing what subjects to do for our qualifications and exams. I was told, my parents were told at parents' evening by the music teacher that Myles has a huge passion for music. He just doesn't have what it takes. It was something to do with that. So anyway, so I've always had that distilled in me. And I have done singing lessons from time to time, but I really would love to get back to it. I'd love to be able to sing. And it's all about finding your own voice. Because when you learn an instrument, of course, you've got your own personality, but you're playing a string. A string makes a certain sound. Whereas your vocals, it's your own voice. And so you've got to find what your voice is and your own style. So anyway, going into the studio for this song, I think the producer spent 20 minutes with me to hit these 3 notes. And eventually I did it. And I remember the moment I did it, I think I went and I was sick in the toilet because I was really pushing myself. And secondly, I burst into tears because I'd never felt like notes leaving, like I was singing notes, and I'd never felt it come out my throat before like that. And yeah, it was powerful. So like when you hear the end of it, you can hear me singing 3 notes. Very end. Here we go. Two notes I had to sing. So I was taking credit of like 1 note every 7 minutes. It was 2 notes. It was 2 notes over 20 minutes. So 1 note every 10 minutes on average. Yeah. I love it. I love to be able to fucking sing. But it shows that I do have a voice. I just need to find it. And so maybe that's something I need to work on. But anyway. So we're bouncing around here with all these sort of stories. But that was Courage is Contagious, which is such a great phrase. Edward Snowden. Actually, I think it was coined. It's been coined by many people. I think Glenn Greenwald spoke about it with Edward Snowden in that context. And that Chelsea says, "Love it. I am a singer." Well, hugely jelly. And I also think that when you're a kid, you're not very self-conscious. I'm talking about when you're really little. And so you will just sing along to stuff unapologetically and really lean into it. And that's how you learn to sing. I think for me, because I was always very insecure, once you get to your 30s, like trying to sing and not hitting notes just sounds terrible, right? Yeah, I need to get some lessons and do it. But as my best mate, who's the guitarist, Hugh, was saying to me, like, Myles, if you want to sing, you can sing. It's just a question of having the effort to go forward and do it, which is absolutely right. I have to really want to do it. So yeah. So there's that. Right, I'm going through some questions now. Oh no, there was another thing I was going to talk about, but let me do the questions and then I'll talk to you about what I did on Saturday, because it's so cool. All right. And by the way, everyone who's just joined, because I know all the VR show stuff has finished now. Hello to all of you. I love you all. Thanks for joining me. And I was saying at the very beginning, to everyone that has sent me so much love and support this past week, thank you so much. It was so emotional last week. I didn't sleep well after last week's show, and then I felt really weird the next day. And now the heat, and that hasn't been helping. Popsicle asks, what's your view on the VR2 hate that's been spreading in the media? I mean, I could do a whole episode on this, like most topics. Look, for those that don't know, PlayStation VR2 is getting a lot of criticism. People are very tribal. People want their headsets to win. And I think it's like this console war thing going on. And also it gets clicks. The reality is PlayStation VR2 is struggling in many ways. But the long-term strategy, I think, is fine. So what's my view on the VR2 hate? I think some of it is driving clicks. Some of it, I think, is just human nature of discussion. If you have a nuanced opinion on something, you're not going to get as many people to engage with it. I mean, going back to the activism thing, I always used to talk about it in this context, which is if I did a video and the video was called like 10 things about immigration, I'm thinking of a heated topic, 10 things about immigration, it might do all right as a listicle. But if I did a video called 10 things bad about immigration or 10 things good about immigration, it's going to do a lot more, because you've got something to latch on against, either agree with and lean with, or you've got something to push up against. If you say, here are 10 reasons immigration is bad, you get all the people that also think it's bad going, yeah, see, look at these 10 points. And then the people that think it's good go, oh, it's not bad, I can counter each of these points. Whereas the nuanced stuff where it's like, oh, there's some bad and there's some good, for example, with it all. But doing a video of like 10 reasons or 10 things about immigration, it's like it doesn't lean into emotion. So I definitely think that plays into a lot of it. What is your favourite colour of Skittle? Oh, that is a tough one. I haven't had Skittles in a while, and I used to love sour Skittles. Sour Skittles are really, really good. And thank you, Ren. Appreciate it. Kill Artist says, I sing a bit too, Myles. I really enjoy it. See? Also, singing in the shower always sounds badass. Yeah. Skittles. I can't remember. I remember as a kid I wasn't able to... my parents didn't like me eating blue Smarties. Do you have Smarties in the US? Here we go. We're going through all this stuff here. Do you have Smarties in the US or anywhere in the world? We've talked about Tiger Bread and Mottle. Was it Mottle? Was that the word? Smarties. Only Smarties have the answer. That was what the it used to be. But I guess they've got rid of that now. Date of birth. Someone's asking me how old I am. 87. Products. Here we go. So Smarties. Anyway, supposedly the E numbers in blue wasn't good for me. It made me go a bit loopy. Oh, you do have them. Okay. But then they did like one where you could create your own, like, they had like football teams. So they had one that was just blue. And I remember just eating the whole packet, just being like, eat all the blue. So yeah, I know this is not the answer to your question about favourite colour. What's the different about the blue ones? I don't know. It was just the E numbers in it with the food colouring. Might have been with other stuff. Yellow Skittles. I mean, I think the green ones were nice when it came to sour Skittles. Or red. Was there red? I think that was that as well. Great. I love the topics. We talk about VR, we talk about activism, we talk about Skittles. Myles, who is your celebrity crush? Who is my celebrity crush? I can think of like some people I'm into. I can really like... I don't know what the name of the actress is in... Who was the actress in Blade Runner 2049? Ana de Armas? or is that her name? When I saw her in that movie, I was just like, oh my God. She is so ridiculously stunning. Like, had a massive crush on her. Let me find. Here we go. This actress, she was in Blade Runner. Super cute. Super cute. Didn't she play like a hologram or something? I don't want to spoil stuff. I'm going through all the photos and you can't even see it. There was that whole image where she's like the hologram reaching over. But I can't. Oh, it's this one. Such a cool image. Okay. She's Cuban and Spanish. Oh, no, it's started in Cuban and Spanish productions. Yeah, that was the famous image from it. But super cool. And then Shakira has been my celebrity crush for 20 years. Let's hear it all, people. What are everyone's celebrity's crush? Lupa's celebrity crush is Brian. There we go. Very good. She's from Bugs. I haven't watched Bugs. Let's have a look. Oh, everyone's talking about Smarty still. Is anyone talking about their crushes, or is it just me? The other person is Christina Scabbia from Lacuna Coil. She's 52. What? She is so youthful. She's so awesome. She's like a proper nerd gamer. She's a vocalist for a metal band. Has the most amazing voice. I've always wanted to get her on the show, actually, to talk about like music and geeky stuff. But man, is it not? Oh yeah, I love this. So you can't, unless you log in, go full screen. But then if you copy the link and do it, ta-da! Man, she's really into horror and stuff, and like proper into gaming. Man, she's Italian. Italians age very well, right? Yeah, incredible. So those would be my 2 votes for celebrity crushes. I know she's looking amazing. My celebrity crush is constantly changing, but at the moment it's Hosea. We've got Jessica Alba, Ryan Gosling, and Ryan Reynolds. All the Ryans. We've got Scarlett Johansson. This is it. There are a lot of film stars I kind of crushed on, but hopefully briefly. Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell was pretty much anything else. I hadn't actually seen the Ghost in the Shell. Rosario Dawson. Oh, she's wicked, and she was. I remember her when she was she was really into activism. She was a massive surrogate for Bernie Sanders, and then she married. Oh, she didn't marry. She dated Cory Booker. That was it. Tina Ivlev, that plays Night Sister Merrin in Jedi game series. Willie Nelson's son Lucas. Kate Winslet. Daniel Radcliffe. I like this. Maybe we should do a full episode on celebrity crushes. That could be good. Great question. Right. Callie Timecat says, do you remember the graffiti in Fitzrovia off Oxford Street, One Nation under CCTV? I don't. I'm having a look. Oh, it was Banksy, was it? Oh, this one. I mean, I never went there, but from 2007. Awesome. Look at that. I fucking love Banksy. So good. So good. There we go. So I never came across it, but I've like seen photos of it. Do you ever get stressed over who people think you are? Because I thought to be a really smart person, and it caused me to get really stressed. What? Do you ever get stressed over who people think you are? Because As in, like, do I worry about what people like think of me because they only see one side of me? I mean, maybe in the early days I used to worry about coming across, how I came across, but then I also realised that that's just the reality. When you meet people in life, people are seeing the facet that they are interacting with. I also fell into the trap where there are a lot of people in the community I was a part of that I thought, oh god, they come across as really arrogant, and they weren't arrogant, they were just having a good time. And I was like, wow, that was really judgmental of me. God, that's what people are like to me. And so it just gave me that empathy in that. So I don't get stressed about it, unless you meant something else, and I'm happy to correct with that. And the protagonist of Jedi games looks much like me. Oh, wow, there we go. I have to look that up. Do you send me a link on the Discord or something? I might have asked this before, but I can't remember the answer. Come on, I have... oh, wait, what was the question, Amnesia? Because I've got this as a question. Was that when you were asking my age? I'm 37 years old. Got asked my age when buying alcohol earlier today. JPEG says, I've been curious if running one's own voice through AI detection system could identify which musicians your voice sounds most like to know which songs you sound the best singing covers of. I mean, that will be an app that we get very, very soon, because all these apps that do like all the singing stuff, they're going to be using AI. And so I think, yeah, I mean, you will literally ChatGPT. It wouldn't surprise me, this new ChatGPT they're rolling out where it can do like, it can sense your audio and stuff, and you can have conversations. It might be able to actually like process the audio and like be able to actually be a coach, and it will know exactly what you're doing wrong, which is pretty remarkable. So AI might be when I start learning to sing. Who is your favourite musician? Mine is Junior, AJR. Who's my favourite musician? I don't know off the top of my head at the moment. I mean, Burton C. Bell, who's been on my show, and I'm definitely going to get him on again soon, from Fear Factory, was a massive influence on my life, so much love to him. Cool. Right. You got ID'd for buying alcohol at 37. Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't know why she was asking me, and I laughed and I said guess, and she went 27. She went like 25, and I laughed. I said, "Oh, I wish," which I thought actually, and then I realised she was asking because of alcohol, and I was like, "Oh, that's probably not the right answer to say." Fifth says, "When I win the lotto, how much do I give you so you can retire and relax?" Man, I would still want to work and stuff because it's what I love. It's what I love to do. That's for sure. Right. People, I am going to put an image on the screen, and while I do that, I'm going to go downstairs and grab something, okay, to tell you. So on Saturday, I took my dad as a belated Father's Day gift and as a belated birthday present as well, to go to a gin distillery in Henley. And do you know what? I could just put it on here. I actually want to get them on the on the show. Amazing. And this guy here, Jacob, who runs it, he's like in his early 30s and absolutely smashing it. Such a great story. And yeah, Jacob, really nice guy. He his story was amazing because he was like a rower when he was a kid. And he was rowing every day because that's what you do in Henley. Everyone's a rower. And he came down with ME, so he had to stop it all. Unfortunately, he recovered, and then he like got into engineering and stuff like that. And like he set this up 3 years ago. It was their third year birthday 2 days ago. They're doing a big event on Sunday actually, so if anyone's in the area, definitely check it out and that. But they do this experience. They do these different experiences. So they do like tastings. So it's a 45-minute experience. Tour the distillery guided by a head distiller. Sample our 3 gins and 3 different runs, and then enjoy a large Henley G&T for £20. I mean, that's a bargain. But then they also do distill your own gin. Look, this is the bar. Look, oh, okay, I'm moving myself across. So look at this. This bar. His dad helped him make it. Oh wait, what have I done here? I want to look the other way. How do I do it? There we go. It's such a cute area. So you got this bar. So I was like, I was literally sat like here. Yeah, here. I was sat on that chair, and it's like 12 people, and they take you through the history of gin. Such a great bar. It's so intimate. And then over here, they have all these little gin, these stills. And then over at this corner, you've got all the botanicals that you choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 16 times 6. 16 times 6. 96. They do say they got hundreds. Oh, yeah, and they have some of them on your desk anyway. The juniper. Juniper is what is always in gin, and they have some here. So they literally do have hundreds. So that's what they say. So, yeah, you go there. You learn about it all. You get the history, and then you... I got absolutely hammered. But then you make your own gin, and it was incredible. And as I said, I want to get Jacob on the show. I reached out to him like a year or two ago, but they were clearly just setting up and stuff, so it was early days. But really nice guy, and would love to get him on. So anyway, here are some photos. So this was me, and that's Jacob there. So there was me enjoying a nice G&T. And then we were taken round... the stills that were named after the grandparents. So it's done over a 12-hour process, and then I think it's 2 weeks after that. I think it was 2 weeks after that. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just 12 hours. But you then got given this. And what they did was they said, you have junipers, which you can see in the top next to the gin glass, and you get your own still. And by the way, you can't do this in the UK. It's like by yourself. It's illegal. And then on each of the botanicals, and you can see actually my cocktail on the right there that I'm drinking, for each of the botanicals, it would say the name on one side, and then on the other side, it would give a recommended amount that you need to put on it. And so this was what my... I had my contact details there, but that's my public contact details, so that's fine. So let me swap this around. There we go. So look, I'm going to go and get you the gin while you just have a little look at that. So yeah, let me put some music on, and then just give me like 60 seconds.
Nothing makes me come to life like the music does. The sounds, they make me hypnotized. It feels like a drug. Throw me in the biggest
Okay, I'm back.
That's my safest place.
Thank you for that little intermission. So, minus the chili flakes. So I actually used ChatGPT. So I chose my 3 like botanicals I wanted to use, which was the strawberries, coconut flakes, and chili flakes, and then it helped me choose the others. But they always say put coriander seed in there and juniper. Juniper's needed. That's what gin is. But just to show you, actually, this is the one that my best friend got me a year or two ago. And look at it. It comes with fresh citrus, lime leaf, and Szechuan pepper, and it actually won World Gin Awards Best English London Dry. And like all the bottles are individually, they're given like written in pen, their batch bottle number, and then the signature of who did it. So that is, by the way, this is not the one I made. That is like their main one. This is my gin. So it's called Miles of Smiles Gin. And then you've seen the ingredients already, but there it is. But it smells great. Now, when you actually are distilling it, let me see. Have I got the video here? Yeah, check this out. So there we go. That was it as it was coming out. and you wait until it gets to the 400 mark, and then you pour it into the bottle, and then you have enough left. I had enough left for exactly a double G&T. So I actually got to have a G&T at the bar there, and then have this full one as well, which was amazing. But at that point, I had drunk so much, I wasn't really going to enjoy the taste or really know it. So I can't wait to try this again. It's going to be a really great summery drink. So there was that. But I also bought one of their Henley Gin Distillery glasses, and I was quite drunk. On the way back, I stopped off at a local curry house, and I went in there, and I needed some food. And I put my bags on the stool just at the desk, and I made my order. And I had 2 bags. One had these 2 in it, and the other bag had the glass in it. I dropped the bag with the glass in it, and it smashed on the floor. And the people at the curry house were saying, "Oh, did you just break something?" After I was telling them about what an amazing experience I had, and very drunk and clearly very transparent, despite what I was saying. I was like, "Oh, no, it's fine." And so while I was waiting for my food to get ready, they actually brought me a beer, saying this one's on the house, because they clearly pitied me. I was a regular, so they always take good care of me. And there was me going, the one thing I don't need right now is more alcohol. And I even took the bag all the way home. I didn't want to look at it. I got home, I opened it, and the glass was completely broken. So I'll definitely go and get another one. But a little funny little story there. But yeah, so I've actually got my own gin. And do you know what else is really, really cool about it? By the way, if he comes on the show, we're going to be talking about all this again. They save that card with your details. So if any of you wanted my gin, you could order it. So something I'm going to ask Jacob is if we could make an Empathy Arcade gin. Can you imagine if we did a batch of an Empathy Arcade gin? That would be so awesome. So I'm actually going to have a look at doing an Empathy Arcade gin. That's just something that came to mind. But yeah. Anyway. Right, people. We are at the top of the hour. It is 10 p.m. here. I've still got loads of work to do. I still need to have dinner, and I need to pack because I'm going on vacation tomorrow. So with lots and lots to do, I want to say I hope you're all staying cool, because it's very, very warm here. Yeah, wait. We got this, haven't we? Blitz Beast Games had made a CAD of a PSVR 2 controller on last 2 weeks ago. Let me find it here. Is it in the general chat? Where did you put it, Blitz? Vitamin G. Yes, we'll talk. Let's do this. While I get this, it's time for Vitamin G, people. Because and to be honest, the reason we don't do Vitamin G normally on the last Wednesday of the month, but let's do it. Feel free, because we didn't do it last week either. Feel free to share what you're grateful for. I've already expressed mine. I'm incredibly grateful for this amazing community, because I was in such a bad state last week, and you were all here. So I love you for it. Yeah, where's the CAD controller? Here we go. Can I just swing it across? There we go. That was the CAD. I challenged you to do a PSVR 2 Sense controller, and you nailed it. Look, with the buttons as well. That's great, because that does not look like an easy design to do. So very, very good. Do you know what we'll do? We'll just do Vitamin G through the outro, because I really got to go. So I want to say a massive thank you, everyone. Do hit the like button if you haven't already, and do subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of all future Myles Dyer lives and Let's Plays, which I've fallen a bit behind, but after I've had my break, I'm going to get back and get back on with it. But I just want to say thanks for bearing with me, people. It's been an emotional week, and I'm very lucky to be part of such a loving and amazing community. So that's all from me. Take good care of yourselves. Love, respect, empathy, and adios till next time. I can't wait to have tiger bread with avocado. Oh, with lemon juice. It's going to be so good.
Though I saw
you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. I'm far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
Thank you, people. Really, really appreciate it. I got to dash. I got to eat, work, pack, and try and get some sleep. I definitely need it. And stay cool. That's the reason I'm wearing this today. It's a breathable shirt because it is so warm here. So, so warm. Look after yourselves. Much love.